Welcome to Two Souls Podcast, a podcast to shift, impact, empower, and disrupt your consciousness, ultimately allowing you to thrive in this human experience. Now here are your hosts, Amber Megenhauser and Angela Blaha. Welcome to Two Souls Podcast. Angela here, and I have my friend Amber with us. We are back and we are ready to talk about lots of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So this week we thought we'd talk about the vision. You know, we've talked about in seasons 1, 2, and 3, like fulfilling the vision. Like, do you have a vision? How to break your old habits, your old patterns, your oldness in order to fulfill your vision or your purpose or your passion. And we are living the vision, and what does it take to get here, literally. So, how are you today, Amber?
I am fantastic. Feels good to be recording again. So
Yeah,
I'm super fantastic today.
sure does. So the vision, what does it take to fulfill the vision? I mean, it takes like extreme passion. So like for me, let's start back at the beginning a little bit here. So, you know, I don't even know what year it is now, but probably 15 years ago, lost my first vision, my first passion. Well, I didn't lose it. I fulfilled it. It was complete, done, over with. Then I have to create something else, right? Or I could just live out. Really, my choice then was just to live out life, and whatever happens, happens, or to create a new vision, a new purpose, a new passion. Well, like most of you, I can't just sit idle, and I can't. It's just boring to me, you know. Like life is a bore for me, and had to create something new. So throughout my meditations and all the inner work that I've been doing and have done my whole life, I can't say that it's a brand new passion. It's something that I knew when I was a teenager, that I would be here for this shifting consciousness that we're literally moving through. So that became an extreme focus for me, and it still is an extreme focus. And then about maybe a year ago, it was very evident that we can't shift the way we thought we could shift without shifting the cellular structure. And shifting the cellular structure has everything to do with food, how we process life, our emotions, the way that we think, and then embodying that soul perspective. And so that's really the trajectory that I'm on now. And it's like the passion has been wild. The purpose is always just right there in front of me. However, sometimes we get a bit distracted. And I think that that's where maybe you and I have been for the last, I don't know how long we haven't recorded, 6 weeks maybe, is a bit distracted with all of the minutia of the human qualities that it takes to change in order to get to fulfilling the vision. So
I totally agree with you that, I want to bring something up that you said at the very beginning. 15, 20 years ago, you had a vision and it was fulfilled. And I think this is like where people get stuck. Like this is a huge area that needs some attention, because we grow and we grow and we grow. But after that's fulfilled, you have to have a new purpose. And if you don't, you're so stuck in life. And so I want people to understand that just because you had a vision, everything was fulfilled. Now it's the new vision. I think so many people are stuck in that spot, but you constantly create a new one, and you grow and you grow and you grow. Both of our visions that we had even a year ago to what we have today is completely different. So if your vision's not growing, make it grow, because that's how you grow. Um, and getting caught up, it does get hard sometimes. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
be honest with everybody, because you do have these big visions, and we have so many visions that it's just phenomenal. But sometimes you get caught up in the work because there is a lot to be done. It's not just your 9 to 5. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, like, it never stops. You're always creating something, you're always doing something. You want to be better than you were the day before. How can we grow this? How can we grow that? Like, that is the vision, growing it bigger and bigger and bigger. But you also have to remember, the minute you get caught up in the work, you have to shift it, because this actually happened to us a couple of weeks ago, and we just didn't know how to shift it, because it was just to the point where we were needed in a certain area, and we couldn't focus and build the things we wanted to. But at that moment, that's what we needed to do. And now it's like, okay, next step, we're back to recording, we're back to the vision, and we cannot wait for what we're about to bring you guys, because hold on to your seats, it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I think that's part of manifesting is holding the vision, right? Because if you're
Yes.
not holding the vision, and this was true for us, was when you're not holding the vision of who you are, why you're here, like the real reason why you're here, um, the day-to-day busyness is the distractor. And when that happens, like, you can't manifest what you want.
So
That was
true.
very evident to us. And now that we are like back to, wait, we lost focus here. Let's maintain focus. And now all the people are coming to us that we need, that we want, that we desire, that like the fulfilling of the reality of it is actually just taking place. And it's no
Yes.
work. There's no
Yes.
work when, like, it was work. It was like struggle before. And it was a very good learning experience for both of us. I think that when you do lose that focus, when you put the day to day, I don't know, factors into it, and you get all distracted into the doing portion of your vision, the manifestations literally stop.
Yes. That's exactly
And
what it is. It's the
yeah,
doing. When you get caught up in the doing, everything
yes,
comes to a complete halt.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the problems start happening.
Yep.
I mean,
Yes.
the problems, like disgruntled um, staff, and like people stop coming into the eatery, and like it took forever for us to get a couple licenses that we needed, and as soon as we switched that and said, okay, we got to focus here, like everything just fell into place.
Yep.
Every single thing. And there's more and more people coming in who are just really aligned with who we are and the purpose
Yes.
that we want to fulfill, and changing the cellular structure. So I think that that's a huge, I don't know the right word. It's a huge turning point in the manifestation of your visions, of your purpose, of your passion, when you can maintain, like, you have to have a steel trap mind. I've said this before, and I've taught this, right? It's all about creating that steel trapped mind of holding that focus so, um, so like vivid that you don't get caught up in the doing. And many of us get caught up in the doing. I mean, we did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we didn't even know we were, to be honest with
Right.
you. Like,
Yeah.
nobody realizes that it's actually happening until it like slaps you in the face one day, and we just happen to have a conversation, and it was like, oh my God, we're caught up in the work. Like, what are we doing? This is exactly what we talk about. How can we be caught up in the work?
Yeah.
But you do, when you're working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard not to get caught up into it. So I mean, everybody gets it. I mean, this is how you learn. I guess part of
Mm-hmm.
recording this too is we want to tell people and show people that we are like experienced in holding our energy and having that really strong focus. But you know what? Hey, we all have a little setback sometimes, but that's the greatest thing about it, because we learn so much from it. Myself especially, like, the I can manifest so well, but when I was caught up in that, man, it's like there was this total halt to what I could manifest, and I'm like, what the heck is happening? And the minute we had that conversation, it was like both of us were like, holy crap, okay, this needs to shift. And the minute we did, like Ange said, like the people we needed were coming into our
Mm-hmm.
lives, our customers and employees for that matter. It totally shifts. So you have to be really, really strong in your mind, where Angela's right. Like if you lose a little bit of focus on that vision, it's like gone. You
Mm-hmm.
have to narrow in on it every single day. You so everybody does this a little different, but I will talk a little bit about what I do every day before I actually go to the eatery. um I really feel into how busy are we going to be. Are we going to have a lot of food? Are we going to have a lot of ice cream? Are we going to have a lot of apothecary? Do we need more staff today? Do we not need more staff today? I can kind of tell, you can kind of fill into it and see like how your day is going to be. And so once you do that too, that's also part of growing it. So as you're seeing this, you can't just see what is happening, you also have to manifest what you want to happen. So if I can see that we're going to maybe have a little bit slower day, I can shift what is going to happen by you like visualize other people there, different groups of people, whether they're um, ladies coming for dinner or guys working that are coming in. You can totally shift everything just by Angela and I having a conversation or manifesting, okay, we need this today. Like you can totally shift that, but you have to be very, very focused on it, and you have to be able to see it. Because there's a difference between imagining in it and actually seeing it. There's a huge difference. You have to
Mm-hmm.
see it. You just like the vision, you have to see it.
Yeah.
Every detail of it, and you can bring anything you want to you.
And I'm going to add another component. You have to believe in it.
Yes. Yes.
Like that, I think is the biggest thing. So like for you, you do like a morning exercise and you do the whole day. I
Yep.
do moment by moment. So if there's a lull in the day and we're like, yeah, I wish we had this, I visualize it in that moment and I shift the energy in that moment. And so we both do it. We just do it a little bit differently. But the
Yep.
point is, I think that we both believe in who we are and our
Yes.
ability to create anything that we want. And
Yes.
so when you have the vision and you have the purpose and you have the drive and you have the motivation, there's also the belief factor that is probably, in my opinion, the most important of all the factors, is that you believe that you can actually change the energy of anything.
Yes.
Because
If
if you
you have,
believe,
go
it
ahead.
works,
And if you
right?
have a little slightest bit of doubt, I guarantee you everything you're trying to manifest is going to come to you backwards. Believe
Mm-hmm.
me, I've tried it. It happens. It's
Mm-hmm.
a phase, we all go through it. There's many stages of belief when you
Yes.
get to this point. And in the beginning, we're taught that this is completely fake. Like, I'll just be honest, like everything I was taught when I was a kid was the world I live today was not a reality when I was younger. And now I cannot imagine my world any different. But that belief I have figured out for myself with the manifesting, that if I do have any little slightest bit of doubt in myself and what I'm trying to manifest, I will literally get the exact opposite of what is coming.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Because as I've taught for years, belief is everything. Whatever you believe, it's going to happen. I
Yes.
mean, that's like, I don't know, creation 101 or something. It's like, it's all about the belief systems here. And,
It is.
and, you know, we have ancestral belief systems, we have childhood belief systems, we have belief systems that we totally ignore based on our experience, but yet we'll believe something totally opposite of that, no matter what our experience dictates, right? And so the belief systems are the things that, I don't know, either make you a creator or make you, I don't know, just someone stuck in life and want to blame, shame, and guilt everybody into your way of believing, you know? And so if you believe that you can create the most magical, magnificent life ever, it will absolutely happen. If you
It will.
believe that you can't do any of those things and that you have to work and grind and do all these weird, I don't know, human doing thingies, it will actually happen. If you believe that the world is a mirror and it's reflecting back to you everything that you need to learn in life, it will absolutely happen. So it's really, I mean, we can work 12-hour days and say, oh my God, I've worked so hard today and I'm not getting anywhere. That's a belief. You just created a belief system that says no matter what you do, you can't get anywhere.
I'm
Now,
so
if you
glad you
believe that you
actually
can,
said that.
yeah,
So
if you
many
believe you
people
can,
believe that.
yeah, it's ridiculous. If you believe you can visualize and you can change the energy and you can change the patterns, it will absolutely happen. And so,
Yep.
yeah, those belief systems are super important.
You know, with the belief system too, this goes hand in hand with the words you speak. The words you speak make a huge difference on what you bring into your life. Because if you speak negatively about yourself and everything you're bringing into your life, all you're going to get is negative. But if
Mm-hmm.
you try to find that little bit of positive in every situation, whether it's good or bad, you will always live a great life and you attract great things to you. You know, we've recorded about this before, but like one of my biggest things that an aha for me with words was I never say the word I'm broke. Like I went from that really, really struggling single mom life to completely thriving in life. And that was the one word that I got rid of my vocabulary in order to change that. So I can't stand it when I hear people say that. It just drives me crazy. I'm like, why do you say you're broke? Why do you want to be broke? Quit bringing brokenness to you, you know? Like it makes a big difference in the words you speak. You know, you could say something, oh, I don't have the money for that right now. Feels totally different than I'm broke, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So it
there's
does go hand in hand.
yeah, totally. You know, there a year ago or so, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, there was this trend of saying that we're broken. And I was like, that is the worst thing you could ever do to yourself. Like, say that you're broke. We're not broken. Not
No.
one single human being on this planet is broken. Do we have experiences to have and things to change in our perspective and the ways that we believe? Absolutely. But we are never, ever broken. And
No.
so that, I mean, that's like, that's like death. When
Yeah.
you say you're broke or you say you're broken, it's like you just killed yourself, literally.
Yeah.
But the
That
only
is
thing that's
exactly
still
what it
living
does to
is the
you.
body. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It's
It
horrible.
literally kills you mentally, emotionally,
Hmm.
and spiritually. And then
Yeah,
physically will come.
yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Because the body can't sustain it without you changing your belief systems, your emotions, your spirit. You know,
Yeah.
it all works hand in hand.
Yep.
Like we're not a separate being where the things that we think are outside of us. No, the things we think are inside of us.
Yep.
The emotions that we feel are inside of us. how do we know what those even are unless, those are all belief systems. If you're feeling sad, that's a belief system. How do you know you're really sad? It could be something totally different, but we don't actually explore it. We just say, oh, I'm just sad because, I don't know, it's a belief system from, your parents or something. And, the spirit, we're always an energy form. We're always a consciousness, which is really what spirit is. And you have to ask yourself where you're residing within that. And if you're constantly saying you're broke or you're broken, then you're going to separate yourself even more. Motivation will leave. The belief that you can do anything will leave. You just constantly are deteriorating yourself over and over and over. So if that's one of your things, stop saying that. Literally.
Please stop saying that.
No, just stop it.
Yeah. This whole episode is about the vision. And honestly, that is the best way to kill your vision and your whole life.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. You cannot fulfill any desire or passion. I think that that's part of a vision that we don't, desire and passion has a sort of a negative connotation because it's related sexually. And, in our society, it's related to sexual connotations. But desire, if you don't have desire and this innate passion burning within you, I think that again is something that literally kills you because we only relate it to one area of our life. But you can have deep desires for success, for example. You can have deep desires and passion for shifting consciousness. You can have deep desires and passion for, I don't know, cleaning your house. Like it's endless. But I think that we have a way of sort of poo-pooing those two things off as negative or like devilish or evil. Like we shouldn't have these kinds of depth to us. And I think that that's where we get lost as well, is we don't dive into the deepness of who we are, the reasons that we are here, the visions that we have. Like, why not allow that to percolate inside of you? Because that's the driving factor that's going to make what your vision, it's the driving factor that's going to make the vision appear.
Yes. 100%
passion,
agree.
desire. Like you can't. So you can have these giant visions, which is what we have. But if we don't have deep desire and passion to make it fulfilled here, like you're just skating around in the surface. And you're probably going to, can it manifest? Sure, but it won't be the depth of what you want it to manifest. And we all know that, if we don't go to the depths of who we are as a soulful being, then there's a chance that things have to be recreated in another lifetime and all those kind of crazy things. And so why do we want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't have that desire.
I think some of it too is a lot of people just don't realize that they have any passion. I look at, I compare this life, not my whole lifetime here, this life, but I always say my old self to my new self because I'm two different people. But I look at the old Amber and she had no drive in life. It was just an 8 to 5 kind of, that's all it was. You went to work and you had no drive in life for anything. You didn't really have a hobby that you loved, and it just, man, life was so boring. I think about how miserable my life was, but I just didn't understand it. And that's what we're here to do, is to help you understand how to use these steps to actually go from just completely surviving life to living your complete purposeful, your total purpose with so much passion that you almost can't explain it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and Angela and I have said this before too. Like, if you would have asked either one of us a year ago if this is what we'd be doing today, we'd have told you were crazy. But that's how you know that things are meant to be. Like, this is like your purpose. Like, everything for us like completely fell into place by itself, and it just gets better every day. Our vision grows. The vision we have. I wish we need to talk. Let's talk about our vision, actually, Angela,
Right.
because I don't know if we've actually ever really explained it to our viewers, but we have a vision that is so big, most people actually probably can't grasp. Um, how do you do this? And that's the
Mm-hmm.
other part of it is the key word is the minute you get caught up in the how do you do this, the vision don't happen. Our
Right.
vision, we both had a vision. They were a little bit different, but we never had really discussed it. It was one of those things that just um, we talked about it, but on different levels. And she literally called me up one day, and I was so frustrated about a lot of stuff because I was trying to start this, but I was missing pieces of it, and I just didn't realize I was missing it until she called me that day. And the minute we had this conversation, our visions like merged together and they grew about times 100. But I'll let you talk a little bit about our vision. Um, it's pretty awesome, and we cannot wait for what's to come.
Yeah. So one of my coaches, and we all have. I believe in having a coach because I think that there's a factor in our lives where we have hidden secrets that we keep from ourselves, or we have hidden factors. That's really the reason why I have a coach, is so that they could sort of pull those things out from wherever they're buried, and help me change my perspective, and so I can manifest anything that I want in life. Um, the vision came very clear one day when we were having a conversation about. She asked me, "What would if I could do?" And this is kind of a, I don't know, trendy question maybe, but if I could do anything out of all the things that I've done in my entire life, or all the things that I could do in my entire life, what would be the one thing that I could do 24/7 and never get bored of? And I said, podcasting. How crazy is that, right? I mean, podcasting, really? And I said, yeah, because my signature is to show up, share what I know, and share what I can channel for people, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know that. I've known that for my whole entire life. Is that like, I'm definitely a teacher of the teachers. Um, there's not much. I mean, that's who I am. I'm here to spread and share what I know about consciousness, about vibrations, energies, and hopefully change cellular structure just by doing that, so that people can actually open themselves up into who they really are. And so that actually happened. And the big picture is to reach 1 billion people through literal podcasting. However, that's the giant picture, right? That's the big giant picture, 1 billion people. But how do you do that? Literally, that's kind of how it sort of started. And it was like, okay, show me how to do it. Like, I'm totally about it. Let's do it. Well, what came about was, this is where Amber's vision, I think, sort of played a role into, well, we have to start at the baseline. We have to create a structure for reaching 1 billion people. How do we do that? Well, we know, everyone knows, if you are into vibrations, frequencies, consciousness, everything has to start at the cellular level. the cells in the body have to change to support your change. If you're creating a steel trap mind and your mind is just constantly out, making conversations and doing this and doing that, then you have to change the physical body, what you're putting into the physical body, not just by food, but by oxygen, by the things that you think. You have to start changing the way that you think and stopping yourself. The emotions, you have to start to understand the emotions. You have to ask yourselves deep, inquisitive kinds of questions about your spiritual being, like, what level of consciousness do you want to be at? And you have to have experiences to support all of that, to bring it all together, so that um, you don't just focus on theory about your life, right? That's manifesting without actually manifesting. You have to actually bring it all together and to make it all happen. And so that's where the eatery came alive. Was well, let's change the cells. Let's change the food habits. Let's change the experience of food. Let's change the and then the apothecary came into that, and it's like, okay, well, let's support the body, let's support all the pain and suffering through apothecary kind of things, through natural healing. um, and so, and so this is where we're at in the creating or the manifesting of the big picture.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. We are here to reach 1 billion people.
We are. Mm-hmm.
And we will do it.
Yes, we will. We are pretty determined.
We are. And we know that I want to add just a little bit about that, is that when we have these visions, and mine has been a vision since I was, in high school years, that's 40 years ago. When we have these knowings, these are deep desires and knowings, that we can either fulfill this lifetime, or some way or somehow it has to be fulfilled. I mean, these are things that are not just, when we have these purposes, I want to call them these giant purposes, they have to be fulfilled. That's your soul self, your consciousness saying, look, this is why we're here. This is why we're not just here being a human being. Like I have, like, my probably the person who knows me the best without actually knowing me is a guy in Peru who, like, he knows who I am and why I'm here. And he knows himself why he's here, and, his mission in life. And these people come into your life to help you, to help remind you of why you are here. And I think that when we meet people, when we have these kinds of experiences, when we actually do the work, and I'm not saying that changing your cellular structure has to be really hard work. It doesn't have to be at all. You just have to change your mind that that's what you're going to do, and you just do it. I mean, it's really that simple. It's a decision. But when we get into these belief systems, and that's really what we're changing, our belief systems, there has to be some sort of a structure that will hold the new belief systems. And that's really where we're at in the creation of the vision, is how can we reach 1 billion people when everyone is, not everyone, but we don't have the structure to support the shift in consciousness. We don't. Our food is contaminated and it's poisonous. Our air is contaminated and it's poisonous. Our water is contaminated and it's poisonous. And so we have to change those factors in order for the creation of a new consciousness.
Absolutely. And actually, those 3 factors, if you look at, I'm just going to use the food, for example, and actually the air too, like everything that we put into your body, let's just compare 2 meals. If you ate a chicken strip, let's use a chicken strip basket. Everything's deep fat fried. It's not that healthy for you. After you eat it, you actually feel terrible. The next day you feel terrible. You feel terrible the rest of the day. You actually just feel blah. But if you were to eat a Buddha bowl, for example, instead of a chicken strip basket, you can think clearer, you see clearer, you feel better. Your whole, everything around you is better. And I think so many people are clouded by everything just from what they ingest. Our society does have very poisonous food. I mean, the things that are allowed in our country that are banned in other countries says a lot. And we all eat this stuff every single day and don't even think twice about it. So it definitely opens your eyes. If you can change your eating habits, it literally changes the cellular structure by itself. The way you think, and that's what's so mind-blowing to me, is the brain fog is gone.
Yeah.
And you can actually think for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So living out your purpose or your vision doesn't have to be hard work. We do warn that you will get caught up in the minutia, in the doing portion of it. But just know that you have to stop yourself and say, okay, what do we need to change here? Because you have lost the focus, and get back on track, right? Like get back to the focus of your purpose, the reason that you're here. I mean, that needs to be held in your consciousness all the time, no matter how busy you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day you have to focus in on it and know what you want and what you're working for. Don't get caught up in the stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We would like to thank everyone for joining us today. We're so excited to be back. We're excited for what we're going to bring you. So definitely stay tuned. Our podcast will be coming weekly again. So until next time, from our soul to yours, have a super fantastic day.